Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Thursday, February 9th, 2012 is sponsored by Realtik. Alright guys, let's talk a little market action today. Markets very continued manipulation. You can see it everywhere you look. This is amazing, folks. I love discussing this. Not that I have any skin in the game necessarily, long or short. I have one half position short of 5% of my portfolio. I have a lot of long small caps. One I closed out a half position on today. We'll talk about that for a 50% gain. But bottom line is this. When you take a look at the market today, it had a little bit of a gap up, and then we started to fall. As we fell, we came into this white trend line. Look at this white trend line. This trend line dictates the trend since the 30th of January. So again, it's obviously a very big trend that the market has been held above. Now today, for the first time, we closed candles below this white line. But again, the In the Money Stocks proprietary analysis dictates that if you're going to truly break down, you must see confirmation. What is confirmation? It's a secondary close below the low of the breakdown candle. Alright, so meaning the next candle after the breakdown candle must close below the low of the previous candle. Sure enough, that signals a true breakdown. That is a proprietary technique that we've developed here at In the Money Stocks, and that is something that we teach our members along with many other proprietary techniques. Bottom line is, you closed below, and then you ultimately reversed, and all of a sudden, you got this reversal and buy program to kick in. The markets went back above the white line. Then they came down, closed below again, and a buy program of epic proportions just shot this market back up, 3-bar surge, and then we floated the rest of the day sideways to up. And this is the classic market activity we have seen day in, day out, folks. And I mean that. Day in, day out, we're seeing this market activity where the markets, again, are being saved from the ability, or there's no ability for them to break down. And again, it just keeps the markets chugging along. Today we have a little bit better volume, but all that volume was in the morning sell-off. Look at this downward move here. Look at the bars of volume here this morning. Since the afternoon began, the light volume has kicked back in, and the markets have just floated up. So again, you're continuing to see manipulation in the market. You're seeing buy programs hit to keep markets above key levels. So again, the shorts don't pile in, and the volume doesn't kickstart. And again, today we find ourselves back to the highs of the day, with another small gain in the markets. And again, it's not that we're going up a lot. We're basically going up, 25 points a day on the Dow, 2 points a day on the S&P 500. But again, it's the nature of the beast, the inability for this market to sell off. Now, this morning we got positive news out of Greece. There looks like there's a deal reached. Jobless claims were also good. But bottom line is, it doesn't really matter. It was almost to sell the news. You had a little gap up here, and the market's just sold. But again, once that buyer of last resort comes in and props this market up, the shorts just go running. And once they go running and start covering, you're just going to see this low float kind of light volume move upwards across the board for the remainder of the day. And again, my anticipation is, assuming we stay above this white trend line and don't confirm below it, you're just going to see the same old. There's nothing different about anything here. You're just going to see the same old. So again, if by chance later in the day we get below this white trend line and we actually confirm, then you may have a multi-day medium-sized pullback, 3% or so over the course of a few days pullback. As long as you stay above this line here, don't anticipate anything. Just the only thing you should expect is more of the same, neutral to upside float. Alright, so let's go over the dollar chart here on the intraday basis. You can see the dollar's been trending sideways. Even as the market's been floating up, the dollar's been trending neutral to higher as well. Not by much, but again, the light volume and the propping continues to hold this market in check, guys. This market's not going anywhere unless you get a major spike up in the dollar. It's got to be a sharp spike, or if the proppers out there decide to allow the market to fall and volume increases. Alright, so again, that's your intraday chart of the dollar. You can see the early volatility, which was a little steeper. That created that early sell-off as we popped up on the dollar. But then the dollar came in, and again, you can see the rest of the day here in the dollar very easily. Taking a look at the USO today, the USO up 27 cents. A little bit of a fade here over the last hour and a half, but getting a small pop. Spot crude will be closing at around 2:30 p.m. today very shortly. If we take a look at the GLD next, down 70 cents. Good rollover on the GLD. Very nice rollover on gold. Gold, again, remains very overbought short term. I mean, look at this move on the daily chart from this level down here all the way up. That's a tremendous move to the upside. And again, we are seeing it reverse today after being up earlier to being down. SLV, same thing. Good reversal. If we go to the intraday chart, look at this great reversal from a gap up. By the way, beautiful gap up right into this level. All right, folks, I want to go over some key chart setups for the end of the day going into tomorrow. Let's take a look at what we can find. Are there any good charts out there possibly to go long or go short? Well, first off, I want to cover one of the good small caps today that, again, we just sold half of. In the Money Stocks members had a hidden gem posted to the Research Center. And by the way, you can always take a free trial of the Research Center if you see fit. And it's a 7-day free trial. You can take one to the intraday stock chat as well. But bottom line is, I gave out a hidden gem in December, SCEI. My alert on SCEI in December at a price of $1.10. All right, today it hit its first target at $1.65. That's a 50% move. Again, I repeat, 50% profit on the hidden gem from December. Now, again, the second target's going to be around $2.20. I think eventually it gets there, but obviously at this point we have a break-even stop, half off the table for a 50% gain. That is awesome. All right, small caps continue to just rule the roost. All right, let's take a look at a couple other things here. I want to go over some other charts. Let's take a look at JPMorgan Chase. Now, this is another signal, and we're continuing to see these kind of issues in the market where I continue to look at the charts and look at key factors, and we're seeing a lot of cracks in the ice, cracks in the glass, where the market appears to want to break down. Just like today, where it got below that white line, and then miraculously it was saved twice during the intraday morning period. We're also seeing other signals, such as the financials. Financials are not participating in the move up today. JPMorgan, for instance, is down 33 cents. Goldman Sachs, taking a look at Goldman, let me just pop that chart up. Goldman Sachs is also basically flat on the day, and you can see it was down earlier, came back a little. But again, to see JP Morgan not participating, it definitely is a little bit of an eye-opener, although again, you can't risk it at this point. Again, I'd love to pile in on the short side. It just can't be done. Not when volume is this light and we continue to see the manipulation we're seeing in this market. All right. Next up, let's take a look at Apple. Apple has to be mentioned today. Apple hitting a high of $496.75, nearing the $500 level. My guess is Apple hits 500 tomorrow or on Monday. And again, this is an amazing move up on the stock today, up $16 and change right now. Small in spirit of bearish pattern, by the way, but for the most part, no big thing to look at there. But bottom line is, the stock was destined for 500. I've told my members in the Research Center and in the intraday stock chat, don't even think about shorting Apple until at least it hits the $500 level. Once it pierces 500, then you have a nice even number play. And again, it's very, very extended, but that's destined. It's been destined to hit 500 because of the even number characteristics of that number. All right, but again, amazing move on Apple. Now let's take a look at Dell today. What's going on with Dell? Let's see what we can find on Dell here. If we go to the daily chart on Dell, it continues to be extended, but it is starting to stall out here. Unbelievably extended chart. And again, we can take a look at Intel, which is a sympathy to that. And this is not quite an extended chart, but again, it still is up unbelievably. I mean, look at this area down here. By the way, guys, these were all support levels back in the day that I drew in for us, telling us that we were going to get big bounces. And look at that move, and then look at this move. Amazing how the support levels work, and there was just a ton of support down here looking back in the past history. All right, in any case, Intel, again, a beautiful move up, trading near $27. But again, we're seeing Dell and Intel kind of pausing today. Amazon is not performing that well today as well, down 86 cents. And again, some other technology stocks like Research in Motion also down. Cisco's down 40 cents on earnings. And again, even Hewlett-Packard trading down about 33 cents. One thing I'm watching very closely, folks, is the fact that even though Apple's carrying the NASDAQ 100 and the NASDAQ today with some big gains, a lot of other technology stocks are not participating as well, which tells me it may be time to look for a pullback in the NASDAQ finally. If we take a look at the Qs, this is an amazing move on the Qs. Look at this vertical move. Unbelievably big move to the upside on the QQQ, and it does need a pullback. So again, we are on the verge, and I want to make that clear. The markets are definitely on the verge of a pullback. There are cracks in the ice, cracks in the glass, whatever you want to call it. But again, the powers that be have to either be overwhelmed with volume so they can't support the market, or they have to allow the market to pull back. Healthy markets pull back. Doesn't mean we're going to crash. All you need is a healthy pullback, and then you could have another leg up. But again, at this point, it does not seem that the market's being allowed to do that. All right, guys, again, interesting day in the markets. Let me just punch up Caterpillar's chart. Caterpillar down a little bit. Caterpillar starting to stall out just a little bit. I gave you guys HOGS yesterday with a nice tail. As long as it stays inside of that tail, it looks good. Also CF, guys. CF was a great call yesterday. gave you a double top right here as a shorting play. If you waited today, you got a re-entry at that double top, and now it's down $1.80 on the day. Beautiful double top short on this CF Industries, symbol CF. Have a great afternoon. Again, 7-day free trial to InTheMoneyStocks.com here. Come join us, the Research Center, and the Intraday Stock Chat. Take care.